Hello folks, hopefully you enjoy the brand new footage that we've got on the channel. That's good. There should be more on the way pretty soon. We're into Hobby Nightmares today, and a Hobby Nightmare later on, or the next 10 minutes or so, that will cover a girlfriend being very, shall we say, unsupportive of a grown man's hobby. Let's jump into our first Hobby Nightmare though, from Nick. Hello Nick. He says, "Hey North, you can call me Nick. I have done. I sometimes play at this little hole-in-the-wall comic shop near my house. It's been run by a guy since 1996. A long time, jeez, nearly 30 years. Wood panel walls, techno playing over the radio, and low lighting. But not too low. It's always climate controlled and hardly anybody shows up. A really good spot, all in all. The owner is just as cool. We'll call him Dan. Dan is an older gentleman with long greying hair in a ponytail and just jolly as all can be. Definitely an elderly hippie, you know the type. He orders anything I want that I can get my hands on with no security deposit and always gives me 20% off on anything I buy, including Warhammer. Well, 20% is kind of the standard, industry standard for stores to give you off. If he's giving you 20% more off, then that is a good deal. That's nearly 50% off the recommended retail price. I can play games for free there, but always buy something or get him a chocolate milkshake. Now that the scene is set, here's the nightmare. We have a small community, and one day, around when 8th edition was just coming out, someone on the store's Discord was looking for a game, and I accepted. Let's call him Jim. I met up with Jim that weekend, and it was going to be a 1,000 points game. My World Eaters versus his Necrons. Jim is an older guy, about 50, and while playing, I noticed a Marine Corps tattoo on his arm. Okay. I said, "Hey man, nice tattoo. Appreciate what you do. My brother takes care of you guys." Jim immediately gets agitated and says, No one takes care of us. We're first in, last out, and do all the work. Your brother doesn't do shit for us." I said, "Hold on, let me get him on the phone." Wow, okay, oh, you went nuclear. You went there, okay. You just literally said, "Yeah, I'll get him on the phone. We'll see what he says." Okay, right. I stopped the game and called him and he picked me up. I said, "Hey bro, I got this Marine here who says you don't do shit. I want you to prove to him in your own words that you do." I hand the phone to him, and Jim put it to his ear, and he said, "Hi, yep, 1995, Lance Corporal, yep, okay, alright, sorry doc, alright, goodbye." My brother is a hospital corpsman in the Navy. For those not in the know, Navy medics take care of the Marines and have a rule never to disrespect Doc, quote unquote. I lost the overall game as Chaos sucked in 8th, but I'm glad my brother shut him down. I asked him what exactly he said to Jim, and he said, and I quote, "I basically reminded him where he would be without me and to enjoy a box of Crayola when he gets home." American. So that's a Marine Corps thing apparently. Like, so when I was getting married in America, we had there was a member of the family who was in, I think he was in Delta or something. He was in something really mental, and he told me about that joke where all the Marine Corps eat crayons. You know, it's what they do. All you can eat crayons. Anyway, I never played Jim again. Last time I saw him, I was picking stuff up at the store before Plague Lockdown, and he was in there cursing at people, including the owner and me, for not masking up. He even included the famous "You're going to kill my grandma" line. Oh god. I left before I got an assault charge, and Dan, the owner, told me later he kicked him out for making sexual comments about his teenage daughter during his tirade. What? Thanks for everything you do, North. I got way more stories I'm going to send in. Cheers. The thing is, it's what people do all the time. Like, they will throw something into a story and then just move on. What did he say about his daughter and why? That's crazy. can't just say that and move on. What are you doing? But yeah, a lot of Marines and a lot of guys who are literally in... He is right, like, Marines do a lot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, from what I've been told, like, Marines are in some really crappy situations a lot of the time. Especially British Marines. Oh my god, the Royal Marines. Dude, my heart goes out to you if you're in that unit. It must suck, you know. They say it's a mindset. Yeah, I know, yeah. Getting shat on from a great height every day whilst bullets are flying at you surely is a mindset, yeah. Fucking idiot government. Anyway, I tend to find that a lot of people who... You gotta remember, these soldiers have been trained and hardwired to such a fine degree. They're on a razor's edge all the time, you know? And some of them cope in different ways. Some of them won't like loud noises near them. Some of them don't even want to talk about war. And so won't be able to do a thing like Warhammer. Do you know what I mean? They all cope in different ways. Some of them are so tightly wound that even like something like the pandemic, right? A lot of soldiers that I've come into contact with, okay, in the pandemic they followed the rules to a ridiculous degree. You know what I mean? Do you know why? Because they're disciplined, and when they hear an order from on high, a lot of soldiers who are yes sir, you know, all the time will follow that without question. And if people around them aren't following those orders, they lose their shit. Absolutely. So I can see the pandemic thing. I know I don't agree at all. Load of nonsense. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I'm gonna kill your grandma. Shut up. Shut up. You fucking idiot. I'm not gonna kill anybody. But at the same time, I know why he's doing it. He's doing it not because I don't even think that's his opinion. I think he just takes the order from on high, from the government, as an order from his commander-in-chief. And that's it. He follows the party line, you know? A lot of soldiers in the UK are like that as well. A lot of soldiers in the UK, you know, will politically are very moderate as far as I've come across. They go with the flow. Whoever's in charge is in charge. They don't really... I've got a mate who's a Marine, and he doesn't really vote. He said, it's not really my place. I'm just here to protect people. I'm here to keep people safe. That's what I'm here to do. You know what I mean? When things boil over, then, you know, I'm going to get called up. Because he's left the Marines, but he's still only 30. So if shit does hit the fan, he's going back in. Do you know what I mean? He's going to get called up again. So, you know, he chooses not to vote. Because he says, look, I stay out of it. I'm just here to keep you all safe. And that's a good attitude. I mean, you should vote. And, you know, I've told that to him as well. But at the same time, you know, soldiers are a breed apart, dude. So don't hold them to too high standards when it comes to their behaviour. But saying that, before I finish the story, saying that, I have the same philosophy for ex-soldiers, ex-servicemen that I do for people with mental health problems. Do not use them as an excuse to be a prick. Alright? Thank you for your service, but if you're a prick to me, I'll be a prick to you back. And if you swing at me, I'll swing at you right back. Alright? Cool. Moving on. If you have any hobby nightmares you want to send in, make sure you send them to hobbynightmares@gmail.com. The email address is down below. If you're struggling with mental health, make sure you head over to the Discord. The link for that is also down below, and it gets reset every Monday, so it should work. And if you like what I do, the Patreon is down below. If you want to help me in this new year by buying me a pint or a coffee or something, then that's the place to go and do it, to make sure you're keeping the lights on around here. So I can do a bit more of this and a bit less of teaching little shits all around the world, as I currently do. Anyway, Gal Rain says, that's a cool name, Gal Rain. Gal Rain, alright. He says, hey North, I hope all is going well with you. It's been a while since you had a relationship-related story, so I thought I'd share one that is still happening to me at the moment. Okay. Alright, a contemporary story. I like this. It involves my girlfriend, who is not in the hobby in any way, so there is fat chance of her ever seeing this. My gaming group of Trev and Mike, and of course myself. Okay, cool. I love Warhammer, and have done since the old days of Warhammer Fantasy Battles. I actually got into the hobby through William King's Gotrek and Felix novels, as my dad used to read them to me as a kid and would do an amazing Gotrek voice that sometimes my mum would ask him to tone down as she could hear it from downstairs. That's amazing. I love that. That's amazing. I love Gotrek and Felix, mate. Absolutely. They are the eyes and horn of Warhammer Fantasy. If you want to know what Warhammer Fantasy is as a setting, go and read Gotrek and Felix. The prose isn't great, I hate that word, but the prose isn't that great. William King's not an amazing writer, but he spins a lovely, simple yarn, and sometimes, as you can tell by his books as they go on, he gets better and better and better and better, you know what I mean? But give it a go, give Gotrek and Felix a go. Brilliant story. The whole lot of it, I love it. Love Gotrek and Felix. Anyway. Manling. Anyway, moving on. Sounds weird, but it got me to sleep as a kid, and even today, I listen to an audiobook, lore, or your good self in one ear whilst heading to sleep. No offence, you don't sound boring or anything. Yeah, I know, doing this has led me to understand that a lot of grown men go to sleep listening to my voice. I mean, alrighty. When I was 11, my dad took me to Games Workshop to finally pick out an army for myself. And I actually started with dwarves. Surprise, surprise. And then moved on to Black Templars in a love affair that has not waned or gone away since. Later on in life, I went to university and ended up running the Wargaming Club there, trying to bring more people into the hobby and getting them into the spirit of the game. All of our games were essentially stories on the tabletop. 3rd edition 40k was kind of my thing, and so even as the game moved on into 7th and beyond, I dragged that core premise of the game with me as we went along. We ended up having about 30 people in the Wargaming Society, and that was brilliant for me personally. I know it meant a lot to my dad to see pictures of the group having fun on our social media, and the fact that he kind of started that fire off in me was a real source of pride for him. That's good. That's good, and so he should have that pride as well. Good. Excellent. Most of my good friends, including Trev and Mike, I met at this gaming group, and when I moved back after graduating, it was a genuine wrench to leave everybody behind. Trev and Mike, though, ended up moving to a city nearby to where I settled into my graphic design job, so all was well there. We set up and started growing yet another club through Facebook, YouTube and other areas. We ended up with about 15 lads and ladies, forming a core of people playing 40k and the newly minted Horus Heresy. And the club has gone on from strength to strength. I am there every Saturday when I can, having a good time and sharing my hobby with friends. I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Well, I wouldn't trade it for almost anything in the world, as we'll see. You see, after I came back from university and moved to the city, I met a girl. Let's call her Alice, as that name comes up a lot in my hobby in my hobby nightmares. What do you mean? In your hobby nightmares? In hobby nightmares, I think you mean. Okay, fair enough. Alice works in the city, is a nerd as she likes Marvel and things like that, but isn't really into gaming and really isn't into wargaming. At the start of our relationship, she was perfectly happy for me to have a hobby of my own and to spend time with my friends there. Alright, the thing is, her attitude towards it did not stay in this direction. About a year after we met, the first signs of this slip in attitude came when she started making plans for us to do things on a Saturday, despite us also being together on a Sunday and most nights during the week. It felt like she was encroaching on the small amount of space I had reserved for myself and my hobby nightmares. You said that twice now, okay. It felt like she was encroaching on the small amount of space I had reserved for myself and my hobby nightmares. Like she had 90% of my time, but was not happy with that. She needed it all. Okay, I think what you mean there is that hobby nightmares happen where you are, right? Is that what you mean? Okay. Fair enough. The horrible thing? She is a great girl and a wonderful girlfriend. My parents love her, and she goes above and beyond when it comes to pulling her weight financially and in terms of spending time together. We watch movies, go on dinner dates, go on holidays, and generally, I'm aware that we seem like the perfect couple from the outside. Mainly because so many people say so around us. But that just heaps up the pressure because this attitude of hers is making me so unhappy. I no longer really go to hobby events, and my participation in my own club is now minimal. Okay. Not only that... Okay, before I get into the next part, I'm just going to say... I have to... Dude, this is not a good situation. Alright? This is worse than an openly abusive relationship. Because an openly abusive relationship that isn't good, right? Other people will have your back on in ending it and saying, look, I need to go away. You're going to face, if you break up with this girl, you're going to face so much guilt and borderline hatred from the people around you because they like her. That's terrible. Right? That's awful. She's wormed her way right in there. The problem here is that, how do I put this without pissing everybody off? She's being a typical woman, dude. I'm sorry, but, like, I'm just being honest. When you find a woman who likes you having hobbies, right? Who allows you to spend time on your own, who gives you space, and is more than happy to take her time when she gets it. When you get a woman like that, put a fucking ring on her finger, right? When you get a woman who has no stress, right? Or little stress, is happy to be around you doing her own thing, and doesn't need you, right? If you can find a woman like that, but she's more than happy to spend time with you when it's time to, right? When you're both happy to, put a ring on it. I'm telling you now, even if it doesn't seem like you are, you know, even if it doesn't seem at the start like, oh, well, I can't ask her to marry me straight away. No, but put the foundation blocks in place. Because that's the kind of woman you want to spend the rest of your life with, dude. All of your friends will go out with hotties, end up marrying one of them, and be miserable for the rest of their lives. You don't want that. You want... If you find an average-looking girl, right, who has a really good attitude, is really intelligent, likes you having your own hobbies, likes you having your own space, and doesn't need you, but you find that beauty inside of her, she's alright to look at, but the beauty for you is inside of her, marry that woman. Go after that woman, go and get her, right? Do not accept toxic behaviour just because they've got a nice pair of tits. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It literally... Because looks fade. And even if they don't fade, you will get bored of them. Every man out there wants to have sex with multiple women all the time. You will get bored of them. When they say looks fade, they don't mean literally most of the time. They mean... Because a man will have sex with a 50-year-old MILF and be like, yep, that was great, right? That's not what we mean. What we mean is, as men, we get tired of looking at you. We're like, yeah, do you know what? Yeah, you're gorgeous, but, you know, you were gorgeous 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You'll be gorgeous in 10 years. What have you done for me lately, right? Okay? You need a woman who has no stress. Okay? Who likes you having your own hobbies. Who likes you having your own space. And celebrates in the things that you have. My missus today, I got sent a model by a new channel partner who's going to be joining us next week. And we got it in the post today. Hello, if you're there watching. Hayden, if you're watching, mate. I got your model. It's brilliant. And she looked at it and went, wow, it's amazing. She doesn't like Warhammer, but she was truly impressed by this model that somebody had painted for me. They were like, oh, she was like, oh my god, this is amazing. This is awesome. Let's put that pride of place on the mantelpiece upstairs where the rest of your models are going to go. And I was like, yeah, that's what we should do. Yeah, and we did. We put it up there, and it's there now, and we're really happy with it being there. That's the kind of woman you want, dude. That's the kind of woman you want. Okay? That's it. Once you find that, nail it down. Nail it down. And secure your happiness for the rest of your life, dude. Do it. Okay? Do it. Because otherwise you end up in situations like this, where they don't want you going and doing your own hobbies. And this girl has 90% of his time. As what's his name? Gal Rain says. This girl has 90% of his time. 90% of it. He spends most of his time with his girlfriend, but that's not good enough for her, is it? No, she wants all of the time. Being in a relationship like this myself, lads, done exactly the same thing. I was with a girl in London, and I tell you what, like, she never happy. Never happy. Whenever I was gaming on my PC with friends, she would always look at that as wasted time that I could be using with her. Even if I've finished a shift in work and I'm knackered, she would throw a strop if I didn't go and hang out with her. If I didn't go and do the things she wanted to do, she would throw a strop. She would get angry. And if I wanted a night to myself, oh boy, you better be prepared for a sulk fest and guilt until it's not worth doing anymore. Because you're so guilty, it's not worth you doing it anymore. And people say don't feel guilty. It's hard to turn that shit off, dude. It's really hard. Right? And people like this, they latch on to dudes with empathy who don't think they've got another option. Because they know they can manipulate them into alienating all of their friends. It's toxic, it's horrible, and most women do it. I'm sorry, most of the relationships I've been in, they've been like this. Okay? The ones that have lasted for years and have been great have been the opposite of this, at least for a while. And then when they became this, I fucking left. Or the relationship broke down. Because they all became this in the end. Alright? Alright, moving on. Not only that, but a lot of Alice's friends tend to think that any male-dominated hobby is toxic by nature. Of course they do. They have basically filled her head with notions and stories of the hobby being filled with incels, neo-far-right idiots, and Reddit trolls. In short, Alice told me herself that a lot of her friends have told her to, and I quote, get him away from that kind of stuff, unquote. Like I'm some sort of child. Yeah, or a dog. Or a dog. Yeah. Yeah. I hate it. She won't come to the hobby club as she is so dead set against it, but the club is full of normal people. We have lawyers, doctors, large business owners, students, scientists, a nurse, 2 taxi drivers, and 3 secondary school teachers among the group of 25 people, not including myself. The vast majority of my graphic design freelancing business has come from my hobby group. Because they're all well off, most of them own businesses, and most of them need graphic design. Good lad, you're doing well there. This is not a group of incels and toxic people, quote unquote, but Alice seems determined to tell me the hobby is toxic and won't be swayed otherwise. She literally will not be spoken to about it, and it is really starting to get to me. I am losing touch with my friends and losing my grip on my social circle. Whenever Trev and Mike are at my place, they get a lukewarm reception from Alice, and she won't have the hobby spoken about while she is there. Pfft, cheeky bitch. Mike pulled her up on this a little while ago and told her that she doesn't pay rent. It's my place, and so I should talk however I wanted to there to my friends. I tell her the same thing, but she doesn't listen. I want to keep my hobby and my girl, and I don't think the two are mutually exclusive. I stand up for myself all of the time, but nothing seems to stick or hit home. What the fuck do I do here? I've done everything short of telling her the relationship is at threat because it seems silly to throw a relationship away over a set of toy soldiers, you know? Anyway, thank you for your help and all you do on the channel. Looking forward to hearing what your thoughts are. Thanks. Alright, I think you've answered your own question. Because when you said to me just before that you don't think that throwing a relationship away over models is you think it's ridiculous, it's not. It's completely not. And you've answered your own question of what you should do. You should sit her down and tell her, listen, I have a hobby, right, that has defined my life in a good way. I've got friends, I've got a positive, healthy social circle, I've got people there that I get a lot of business from for my own graphic design business, okay? The hobby is one of the best positive forces in my life. If you love me and like me, you want me to have those things in my life. If you don't, and you think it's toxic, and you won't listen to me, and you won't even give it a chance, then you need to fuck off and leave me alone. That's what you need to say. And if she says, "Oh, you're breaking up with me because I don't like Warhammer," you go, yes. Yes. if you refuse to at least talk to me about my hobbies and the things that I like, rather than just dismissing them because you think you know best. Yes. If you don't agree to at least try and appreciate the things that I like and the things that they do for you as well, because you don't pay any rent. The hobby pays the rent, because most of my business comes from the hobby. So if you want to appreciate that, there's the fucking door. Because this is the house that Hobby built, and you're living in it. Alright? There's the door. I need somebody who is going to support me and what I like in life, right? Whilst I support them. A woman who derides my children's hobbies because she thinks that they're childish, that's not the mother of my kids, alright? That's what you say. Verbatim. That's what you say. That's where I am. That is where I am. If you're willing to work with me here, I will try and save this relationship because I love it, I love you, I want to carry on. But if you're not, there's the fucking door. Because I was happy before you got here, and I'll be happy for years after you've left as well. Alright? I don't need you. In fact, you got nowhere else to live. You need me more than I need you and your toxic fucking friends, alright? That's what you say. Lay it out black and white. Have no messing. Lay it out black and white. And don't you fucking dare. Don't you fucking dare stop going to that club on a Saturday. This Saturday, get down there. You get to that hobby club and you have a good time. Don't you fucking dare walk away from your friends for this woman. Don't do it. Any woman who gets you to walk away from your friends, if your friends are good people, need shafting. Get them out. Get them out of the place. Alright? I would tell you to say to her, you know, it's your friends or me, but at the end of the day, all they're doing is being typical. That's all they're doing. They're just being typical. Alright? So you can't, I wouldn't really say that. Only if they're being actually abusive and trying to get her to cheat on you and shit like that, then you tell them to fuck off. But at the end of the day, I will say this. Friends like this that she's talking about here, they end up doing shit like that. They end up telling her to cheat on you. They end up taking her out to clubs and all this other stuff to try and get her other men because they don't like you. That's the kind of friend we're dealing with here. It starts out this way, but be very careful about their behaviour around your girlfriend because eventually they will start doing shit like that. Alright? So be very prepared in the future. Even if she comes down on your side here, be very prepared to say, in the future, it's your friends or me. Because your friends are toxic as fuck. Alright? Again, I've had a girlfriend say to me, you shouldn't be hanging around that particular friend. And you know what? Sometimes they've been right. Sometimes they've been right. And I've stepped back and I've analysed my friendship with somebody. I've realised it's all one way. Usually me being friends with them. You know? And I've walked away because they've opened my eyes and gone, look, that guy is not a nice guy. Right? He talks a lot of shit. I don't like him. And I stand back and I take a look at the situation and I go, do you know what? You're right. Yeah, fuck that. I'm leaving. Right? But there have been some times where I've been told that and they haven't been right. I mean, no. You're just an asshole. And I've broken up with the girl. You're literally just an asshole. That's why my friends don't like you. If all of my friends don't like you, you're probably an asshole. Right? Okay? The difference between men and women in here, right, is male friends won't like you as a girlfriend if you're a prick. If you go and you're nasty to people, or you're haughty to people, or you talk down to people, or you stop him from seeing his friends, they won't tell him to dump you, but they will ostracize your boyfriend. They'll go, no, listen, mate, you want to go be a simp, you go be a simp, no problem. But we're having fun over here. When you come to your senses, we'll be here, right? See you later, right? Women are the other way around, alright? I've been disliked by girlfriends' friends for no reason. I've been disliked by girlfriends' friends because my girlfriend has a boyfriend. Literally. Out of jealousy. Because my girlfriend has a boyfriend, they're not happy. And they need to bring their drama and shit to us all the time. They need to try and make me jealous. They need to try and make her jealous. They need to interject themselves into the relationship. Happens all the fucking time. Guys don't really do that. Sorry, they don't. Right? Through all my experience, they don't. Alright? They will openly ostracize your boyfriend. If you're being a prick and you're stopping him from seeing his friends, they'll go, you know what? You know what, Dave? You stay over there, mate. When you're done simping, come back, we'll be here. But until that time, go fuck off. Alright? Yeah, cheers. They won't do anything to you. They'll leave your relationship alone. They'll say, no, your relationship's fine. You guys stay together. But Dave, if you can't see... I know I'm using the word Dave. Sorry, Dave. If you can't see, you know, the wood for the trees, you need to make this mistake on your own time, mate. Alright? See you later. That's what they'll do. I know, because I've been on both sides of the fence. I've been the simp, and I've been the guy judging the simp. Been both. That is what happens. Right, eventually her friends will turn toxic here, so be very, very, very careful. Alright? If they're already talking like this to her, be very careful. But yeah, give her that ultimatum. It's not worth you being unhappy for the rest of your life. It really isn't. Alright? It ain't worth shit, man. I'm being honest with you. A woman who says this, I'll be honest with you, if you want my honest advice with no mitigating factors, I would break up with this woman. If you want my advice, I'm only being middle of the line because I don't know what your relationship is truly like. Maybe she's good for you in other ways, I don't know. But if it's me, I'm walking away from this relationship. I'm sorry. No, you don't get to decide who I spend my time with, right? Or what hobbies I have. Okay? Especially when you haven't even met them. You haven't even met my friends or been in my hobby, and you're telling me I've got to dump all that to spend time with you. No. No. Sorry. Not going to happen. Alright? It'd be one thing if you met my friends and decided they were all toxic assholes. At least you've met them. At least you've got experience, and I'll take your suggestion on board. I'll examine my friends and my relationships. But if it comes up wanting, like if I find out you're wrong, I will break up with you. Like, I will break up with you. Because you've been exposed to somebody who just wants me to get rid of my friends to suit you. Alright? Same thing for the woman, by the way. If you're a woman listening to this, and your boyfriend says it's me or your friends, and you examine it, and you think he's in the wrong, break up with him. You're clearly not meant for each other. Break up with him. Go find somebody who will put up with your bullshit. Alright? There's plenty of simps out there. Everyone likes tits. Go and find another one. Don't make this guy's life a misery. Alright, that's what I would do, dude. I would honestly just break up with her. If it was me. Honestly, I would just be like, nah, I'm done. Because if I know my friends are good guys, and I know that I'm getting a lot of good out of my hobby, and she wants to tank the things that make me happy in life, I would leave. Okay? And not only that, but her friends are going to do the same to you. They're pulling her away. She'll end up cheating. She'll end up doing something silly because her friends told her to. Alright? And she thought it was going to be all sunshine and rainbows. And you'll be the one holding the bag. You'll be the one holding the emotional bag. She'll rip your heart out. Fucking leave. Alright? I've gone from being quite middle of the road. No, mate. Fucking leave. Leave. Go back to the hobby. Have fun with your friends. And find somebody who loves the fact that you've got hobbies that you like. That's the girl you want to marry. Alright? Cool. Love you a long time. I'll speak to you soon. Maybe Friday, maybe tomorrow. We will see what I come up with. Love you all. Have a good one. Bye now.